I'm here to tell you a little bit about Grandmothers to Grandmothers. And those of you who are here wearing these scarves are the grandmothers in the Muskoka chapter of Grandmothers to Grandmothers. So if you look around the room and you see somebody wearing this scarf, you'll know that they are a member of our group. Grandmothers to Grandmothers is an organization that is affiliated with the Stephen Lewis Foundation, and it is started by grandmothers here who really wanted to do something to help grandmothers in Africa when they knew that the situation over there was so terribly desperate. So they spoke to Stephen Lewis, and he said, well, why don't you start an organization affiliated with us for grandmothers? And that's how Grandmothers to Grandmothers got started. What we do is, by the way, we have chapters all across Canada. We have 240, 250 chapters across Canada. So it's become quite a large organization. We fundraise. We raise awareness of the plight of people in Africa, and we advocate for those people who do not have a voice. The money that we get from fundraising goes directly to projects in Africa, and it is there within 7 working days, working on the ground. 90% of the money that is brought in from anything that you purchase or donate through Grandmothers to Grandmothers goes directly to those projects. The money in Africa is used to pay for schooling for these young children so that they can get to school. It pays for their uniform because you can't go to school in Africa without a uniform. And it pays for their school tuition, it pays for their books, it pays for any writing materials they might have, and any other school expenses. It provides food on an emergency basis. If people need food, it will help them to feed their families. It provides re-education for these grandmothers who are oftentimes working in really horrible conditions if they can get a job at all. And at least it gives them a skill set that they can then take and get a job that is maybe a little less taxing. And I can tell you that there was one grandmother who was working breaking rocks in a quarry. Now, at my age, the last thing I would want to be doing is breaking rocks in a quarry because by 10 o'clock I'm pooped, and I hadn't really done a whole lot all day, so let alone doing something as backbreaking as that. The money also goes for grief counseling because, as you can imagine, these grandmothers have lost their children, and I just can't imagine the thought of losing my children. And then on top of that, it goes for grief counseling for the children because they've lost their parents. So it's a really necessary thing to have. It also pays for any health expenses if they're sick. It makes sure that they get medical treatment. So the money is going to really, really worthwhile causes, and you can feel really comfortable knowing that you've donated to something that your money is going directly to help.